Hi, I am Nidhi, and in this video, we will be discussing how you can draft a warning letter to an employee for the misconduct by using ChatGPT. Let's say one of your employees goes on unauthorized leave for a period of 7 days. Ideally, before you can take any action against them, you would have to issue a warning letter to them. If they reply to the same, you can go ahead, conduct the disciplinary proceedings, and decide upon the relevant punishment, if any. However, if they fail to respond completely, you can treat this as abandonment of service and dismiss them. In this video, I'll show you how you can make the same letter giving warning to them in just a couple of minutes by using ChatGPT. So let's dive right into it. We're going to continue on the same fact scenario like I told you at the beginning of the video. I have given ChatGPT a very small prompt. It says, I need you to act as an HR. You are required to draft a notice for unauthorized absence of an employee. Please ask me 5 relevant questions which will enable you to draft the notice. You see here that I have asked GPT to ask me questions, basis which GPT will draft the notice. It reduces my work and I can understand what information GPT needs from me. It says, certainly, to draft the notice for unauthorized absence, I need some specific information, and it is divided that information into 5 parts, like I had said. It says, I need the employee information, full name of the employee ID, the department or team where the employee is working. The dates, duration of absence. So it says the specific dates where the unauthorized absence occurred. This will be important to incorporate in the notice because we will have to run as per the leave and attendance policy that we have in the organization. So the number of days of leave, what is the exact duration, and when the absence took place is important. And it has asked me that. So legally correct. Reason for absence. If the employee communicated any reason for absence, please provide the details. Any documentation or communication related to the absence if available. Here, if as managers, we do have any communications that are available by the employee, we can cite that. But in this case, it's an unauthorized absence. No sanction for leave has been taken. Therefore, we are going to inform that GPT. What are the company policies and guidelines in place? We'll inform that. And finally, what are the previous communications? So have we attempted to reach out to the employee before using or before rather giving the final notice to the employee? It says previous communications and warnings. Have we reached out to the employee before issuing the warning letter? Are there any previous communications that we have done either via email, telephonic, or WhatsApp? We need to mention that. Basis the questions that GPT has asked me, I'm giving out the following information. The name of the employee is imagined to be Shweta Sharma. The employee ID is given randomly. This is all hypothetical in nature. The department is the marketing team. It asked me about the dates and duration of absence. Here I said that 17th, 24th Jan was the duration of absence. It's a total period of 7 days. Is there any reason? So no, in our case, we have written that no prior sanction has been taken by the employee. Both the HR and the reporting manager were not informed. Therefore, it is unauthorized in nature. There is no sanction. What about the company policies? I have written here that the employee was acquainted with the leave attendance policy at the time of joining. When you sign your employment agreement, all employees are automatically subject to the company policies. You make them sign this. Apart from that, have they gone through it? Are they acquainted by it? So yes, Shweta Sharma is. That's what I'm trying to tell GPT. What is the policy or guideline which is relevant to the situation? Here, I have given out an interpretation of the leave and attendance policy that we have. I say, as per the leave and attendance policy in place, it states that if the employee goes for unauthorized leave for more than 5 days, it can amount to misconduct. ChatGPT needs to take this prompt and incorporate this in the notice. Finally, about previous communications and warnings. Are there any previous warnings or discussions? So I say the HR manager and her reporting manager have tried to establish communication with her over email. I have given the specific dates also. It's 18th January, 20th January, and 22nd January. However, she's not responded. Apart from email, I also mentioned that managers also try to reach out telephonically and over WhatsApp. So we've tried to exhaust all the modes of communication available and the modes where the employee is available, but she's not responding. Finally, about the documentation and records which address attendance concern. So we have all of this preserved with us. And I have lastly given ChatGPT another prompt from my end. That please conclude by saying that if the employee does not turn up within 3 days, because there is already an absence of 7 days now. So another 3 days we'll give to the employee. And if that does not happen, we're finally going to treat it as abandonment of service. Then you can very well go and dismiss the employee. You have a good ground to do so. But you see, based on just my initial prompt that I need ChatGPT to ask me questions and my answers to the question, I have a wonderfully drafted warning letter. And let me tell you, it's all inclusive of the prompts that I just gave to ChatGPT. Let's see. Every warning letter, or in fact, every internal letter to the company that you will give, will start off on the company letterhead. So it's perfectly picked that up. The date will have to be mentioned. Employee Shweta Sharma, the employee ID, the department is mentioned. The subject also said it's a notice for unauthorized absence, so very crisp and clear, communicates what we are trying to tell the employee. Dear Shweta Sharma, it has come to our attention that you have been absent from work without authorization. It's important to mention that it's without authorization. From January 17 to 24, so you see GPT has picked up the exact dates of absence and the total number of days of absence as well. It says you have been absent from work without authorization from 17 to 24 January, totaling consecutive of 7 days. Despite attempts to establish communication, neither the HR department nor your reporting manager received prior notification. That's as per policy. So we are seeing what she has done and what she should have done as per policy. Furthermore, there has been no communication from your end explaining the reason of your absence during this period. So currently, we are not aware why Shweta Sharma is absenting herself from duty. A reference to the company policy is made sure by GPT. It says, as per the company's leave and attendance policy, which you were made aware of upon the joining of the organization, unauthorized absence exceeding 5 days is considered misconduct. So we have given a reference to what the company policy says, and we have reiterated the clause which talks about unauthorized absence beyond a period of 5 days. It says it can result in disciplinary action being initiated against the employee. We would like to remind you of your obligation to adhere to company policies. Now, you see, the language that is used by GPT here is like an HR would do. So, my earlier prompt that GPT needs to act as an HR has worked really well while the language is picked up. It's very polite, yet it reminds the employee of its obligations. So we like to remind you of your obligation to adhere to company policies and guidelines related to attendance and leave. Very well put. Here it talks about the attempts that are made before we are finally issuing a warning letter to the employee. So it says that yes, attempts will need to contact you via email. This was done on 18 January, 20 January, and 22nd January. So all the specific dates that I gave out to GPT in the prompt earlier have been picked up really well. And it also emphasizes on the fact that there is no response that is received from your end. Additionally, attempts were made to reach out via telephone and WhatsApp as well, which went unanswered. In the notice, we have mentioned all three modes that we have exhausted to make sure that we are reaching out to the employee trying to understand the unauthorized absence, but there is no response from the employee. Finally, it says your unauthorized absence and lack of communication are serious breaches to the company policy because given a reference to the leave and attendance policy that is being reiterated here, they are causing disruptions with the marketing team's operation. If you remember, I had given GPT a prompt that she is a marketing manager. So giving out a reference to the disruptions that are being caused in the team's operations, which is likely to happen, right? Finally, it says, this notice serves you as a formal warning regarding your unauthorized absence. This is because we have made informal communications. We have sent emails with the employees not coming to work, right? So what is it that us HR managers can do? We need to finally give out the warning. That's what we're doing in the conclusive paragraph. So we expect you to return to work within the next 3 days. You see, the employee is already absent from 7 days, so 3 days is a good enough time from the receipt of this notice. Failure to do so will be considered as abandonment of service and appropriate action will be taken in accordance with the company policies. So please acknowledge the receipt of this notice by signing and returning the attached copy sincerely, and the HR can sign here. So very well drafted in precisely just 2 prompts that I gave out to GPT. It has given me a wonderfully drafted notice. This notice you can use for any kind of misconduct that an employee is engaging in, whether it is loitering in the premises, whether it is abusing a senior, whether it is drinking in the premises. You need to issue these warning letters as and when such instances happen. GPT has become a very easy tool which simplifies these processes and saves a lot of time. It literally just took me 5 to 7 minutes to get this draft done and makes my job much easier. I hope this video was helpful for you and you liked it. If you want me to create more videos, please leave down in the comments as to what topic you would want me to create them on, and I would be happy to do it for you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.